Hello everyone, welcome. So today we will discuss about gymnosperms. We have already discussed about algae. We have already discussed about the bryophytes. Then we have already discussed about the pteridophytes. Bryophytes were the mosses that we have, and pteridophytes are the ferns that we had. And presently then we are coming to the gymnosperms. So pteridophytes, we found that they became vascular in nature. So pteridophytes are vascular. Now when we come to the gymnosperms, we are talking about the seeded ones. So now gymnosperms and angiosperms, they are whether the seeds are naked or whether the seeds are not naked, they have a covering. Okay, so that is the gymnosperms and the angiosperms. So presently we are talking the gymnosperms, and angiosperms I'll be talking the next video. So gymnosperms are the plants with naked seeds having freely exposed ovules and megasporophylus. So megasporophylus, they have got long leaves, big leaves, okay, with leaf gaps, and they are referred to as phanerogams without ovary and act as connecting link between pteridophytes and angiosperms. So there is a connecting link. Now coming to what are the different characteristics that we have in the angiosperms, the various characteristics in the gymnosperms, in the gymnosperms, what are the various characteristics we have? They are distributed and they are abundant in temperate regions. So they basically grow in temperate regions. Okay, and then after that, the sporophyte which is there is dominant and differentiated into roots, stems and leaves. So if we talk about any plant, they are differentiated into roots, stems and leaves. So we can always say this. And usually they are tap roots are present, but in small cases like in coralloid roots or mycorrhiza is also present in, like in pinus and all those things. Now the leaves are dimorphic, that is the foliage and leaf scales. So leaves basically they are dimorphic. So there is a foliage which is there, and there are scale leaves which is there. So flowers are absent instead of sporophylus, that is microphylus and megasporophylus are aggregated to form distinct cones of strobili basically. Okay, next we have xylem do not possess any vessels. Here also we have vascular system, but xylem, we already have studied that xylem has got xylem vessels, right? So there are no, xylem does not have any vessels, and phloems also do not possess companion cells and uh, sieve tubes. So xylem and phloem is present, but they do not have any kind of cells which is inside them. Then after that, vascular bundles are also open in the stem, thus it shows secondary growth. Okay, now these plants may be dioecious like cycas, or it may be monoecious like in pinus. So there is a heterosporous producing microspore and megaspore that is there. And then after that, gametophytic generation is much reduced. So there is the gametophytic generations. Earlier we had a very big gametophytic generation, but here the gametophytic generation is very less. So here the pollen grains, what happens is the pollen grains forms the first male gametophyte, while the female gametophyte is represented by the functional megaspore. Okay, which and later there is a cellular female gametophyte which is archegonia. Pollination, usually here there it was water, and here the pollination is basically taking care by wind, or the pollen grains will directly reach the ovules, and this male gamete which will reach the female gamete, it will form a tube, that is siphonogamy. So it will produce a stem which is known as siphonogamy, and this will affect the fertilization. The endosperm in gametophytic and derived from female gametophyte, and polyembryo is common in pinus. The number of cotyledons may be one or two, or a whorl or of many. So that may be there, and fruits are not formed due to absence of ovary. So these are basically the gymnosperms where the seeds are naked, so there is no ovary. So that is how the reproduction is. Now coming to the various classifications that we have in gymnosperms. So gymnosperms is Psychadopsida is there. So if we see the Psychadopsida plants are here. In Psychadopsida, what is it? It is usually unbranched woody trees, and the wood is monozylic. So there is micro or megasporophilus usually forms the male and female strobili respectively. There is male or female strobili which is formed. Okay, so there is haustoria, pollen tubes, they act as haustoria. Okay, next we have Coniferopsida. When I talk about Coniferopsida, then we have this Coniferopsida. They are the largest group, having usually long branched and evergreen trees. So they have got evergreen trees, and here the wood is kynozoxilic. So there are small ephemeral cones formed in groups. So the fertilization is phainogamous. The male gametes are non-motile. Example is Pinus or Taxus. Then we have Ginkgopsida. Ginkgopsida is represented by one living member of Ginkgo biloba, which is the living fossil. Ginkgo biloba is the living fossil that we have. Leathery and fan-shaped leaves are there. See, there are fan-shaped leaves. And the veins are dichotomonously branched. So the male gametes are multiflagellate and motile. Next, we have Natopsida. So, Natopsida. So, if we have Natopsida are basically most highly evolved groups of gymnosperms. Secondary xylem shows vessels. Medullary rays are multiseriate. Racine canals are absent. And the examples are Natum, ephedra, etc. Okay, so that's it about the gymnosperms. Just to have an overview of the gymnosperms, easy overview of the gymnosperms, let me tell you, gymnosperms are basically naked seeds. The plants which have naked seeds, that means there is no fertilization, there's fertilization taking place, but there is no fruits that is there. And then after that, if I talk about, they have got roots, stems and leaves. And then after that, not only that, the leaves, they have got foliage as well as scale leaves which are present, and xylem and phloem is present, but there are no xylem vessels or phloem vessels. Okay, now there are no the vessels there, it is not there inside the xylem, or this phloem, the companion cells, sieve tubes, they are not there. Now then after that, the classification of gymnosperms are Psychadopsida, Coniferopsida, and then after that we have Ginkgopsida, and then we have Natopsida. So these are the 4 classifications of gymnosperms. So when we talk about Psychadopsida is basically where there are unbranched woody trees which is there. And then in Coniferopsida we have their evergreen trees which is there. Ginkgopsida, their leaves are very much leathery and fan like, and they are basically the living fossils that we call it as. And Natopsida is basically the most highly evolved groups of gymnosperms that is found. If we come to the reproduction part, it reproduces obviously sexually. So the plants may be dioecious, that is or it may be monoecious as well. So what happens in the gametophyte generations is much reduced, and the female gametophyte that is there and the male gametophyte, when they fuse together, the female gametophyte is going to form the archegonia. So the pollination is basically taking place by wind or pollen grains, and when they fuse together, this male gametophyte, they will reach the female gametophyte and they will form a tube which is known as siphonogamy. So then after that, the endosperm is formed, and this endosperm is derived from the female gametophyte. Okay, so that's it. And next, coming to which I did not discuss, is the economic importance that we have. It can be used as food, that is there. So seed of the pinus are edible and eaten after roasting. So most of them are used as timber, like for making furniture, plywood, etc. Then they have good use for paper, for manufacturing of paper, and resins as well. So resins are semi-fluid secretions which are taken up, and then these are going to prevent from the microbial and insect attacks. So antiseptic usage is also there. And then after that, they also are used as ephedrine. Ephedrine is a drug that is obtained from ephedra and used in curing respiratory ailments. So ephedra. Okay, so that's it about the gymnosperms. Thank you.